Think about moving to Charlestown here in Massachusetts. Well, Charlestown is one of the most historic areas of Boston, but it's so much more than just the cobblestones and the history. So in this full map tour, I'm going to take you through exactly what it's like to live in Charlestown, from the housing market to places to explore to just the overall vibe of Boston's oldest neighborhood. So let's dive in. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mike O'Brien. I'm a Boston real estate agent and expert. And if you're thinking about moving to Boston, or maybe you just want to know a little bit more about what Charlestown and that section of Boston is all about, you're in the right place. Today we're going to do a full map-based walkthrough of Charlestown so you can see exactly where everything is. So let's not waste any more time. Let's start the tour. All right, we start our tour with showing you exactly where Charlestown is in relation to the rest of Boston. So it's right across the river here. Here's your downtown Boston North End, and then you start to see, well, start to see some sponsors, but more importantly, you start to see the outline of where Charlestown is. It abuts to the east side of Somerville and also of Cambridge here, and right across you have Everett and Chelsea, East Boston, and again, here's a quick ferry ride over to downtown Boston as well. So here we go. Let's get into Charlestown and just give you a little lay of the land literally here. And like a lot of Boston neighborhoods, pretty compact, right? And in terms of the housing, can be a little scrunched together, but you start to see it's got some green spaces. Now, obviously, it has some waterfront. It's got some playgrounds. I see a pool there as well. So again, like a lot of Boston neighborhoods, it's pretty compact, not only in terms of the geographical area, but also in terms of kind of the density of the housing therein. So you're right next to Route 99, I guess, sorry, 99 making its presence felt there, I guess, appropriately named Bunker Hill Community College. So if you're a Goodwill Hunting fan, where Robin Williams and Matt Damon were having their sessions over here, very industrial over here with the Boston Airport, Harbor Airport. You start to see just kind of the industriality of it all, if that's where that might have made up. And of course, we'll get into the waterfront as well, but kind of three main thoroughfares: Medford Street, Bunker Hill going right down the middle, and then Main Street, which you start to see some of the kind of historic atmosphere of Charlestown, and especially when you get into the Gaslight District. So let's start to go through it a little bit. So let's just start going down Bunker Hill. If I can get my little man lined up here, because I want to start to show you some of the housing. And you're going to see a lot of brick, a lot of brick here in Charlestown. Again, you're going to see a lot of homes that kind of have that historic feel, but you're also going to see a lot of triple deckers, converted condos, 3-floor, 2-floor units. And so the single family opportunities compared to the condominium opportunities are going to be, I guess, fewer and far between. And we'll get into the housing market a little bit, but kind of like Southie, if you were around for that video a little while back. I mean, there's a lot of development everywhere in Boston, don't get me wrong. But again, if you saw the South Boston video, again, a lot of buildings like this that have been recently are under development. And now we start to get really into those double deckers, those triple deckers, converted or otherwise. And you can see like a lot of the buildings still very much have kind of that old brownstone and colonial feel. So yeah. So that, I mean, what you're seeing is kind of what you're getting here as we go down Bunker Hill Street. The reason I'm continuing to go down Bunker Hill Street is because one of my favorite places to grab brunch or dinner for that matter is on Bunker Hill. So right here, Waverly, fantastic brunch and great place to grab a bite. Usually a wait. So either get your reservations or you might be able to find some bar seating. But really, really great food there, and a really nice atmosphere. So yeah, I mean, you're gonna see basically just a lot of housing on Bunker Hill Street, and of course, an old historical graveyard or cemetery or otherwise. You see a lot of those in Boston as well. But if I can just pop back out a little bit here, maybe. So I can pop back out and start going down Main Street as well, and start to show you a little bit about not just the housing, but also some of my favorite spots. And we want to get into the Gaslight District as well. And we'll get to the Bunker Hill Monument for sure. So as we start working our way down Main Street, again, just the tree-lined streets, quiet for sure. Great little cafe there. MSQ Cafe. Hey, Domino's never disappoints, don't get me wrong. And start to see some more like restaurants and retail. Monument, which is kind of hidden by the trees right there. Let's see if we can get a better look. Well, sadly, no, but let's see if we can get a look here. So yeah, great restaurant, great pizzas. Really have kind of an eclectic menu there too. Good beer list, good cocktail list if you're into that. But yeah, so yeah, right there, gastropub. That's the word. That's a description I couldn't find at the tip of my tongue. But the pizzas there are indeed unbelievable. And you have like a lot of fun, like kind of boutiques as you head down Main Street in Charleston as well. And this is even before we get to kind of the Gaslight District. So again, another good coffee house there, Zumi's. Oh, and yes, some just some fun shops. But let's work our way a little bit further down Main Street. Oh, good Thai food and good sushi as well. Don't let the rating fool you. So as Main Street becomes Warren Street, becomes Main Street again. And we'd be remiss if we didn't, no, make sure I didn't miss it, if we didn't take you to the Warren Tavern, which is one of the oldest, well, I think the oldest tavern in Boston. Well, one of the oldest bars in America, for sure. And yes, George Washington did actually eat there. All right, I'm gonna have to go back. Let's go back to Monument. All right, so I did the store. Okay, so we'll go back to after and talk about the stores. And so let's pop back out. So just make sure we get down Main Street and start to get into that Gaslight District a little bit. So as Thompson Street becomes Main Street again. Oh, and while I'm here, I gotta, rather than futz around with the man. Oh, I gotta go back to, oh, sorry, real quick. I gotta go back to the end of Bunker Hill Street because this is a great spot as well as we get across the square here. Let's see if Google will let us do it. Yes, there we go. So Brewer's Fork. Let's see if I can zoom in. There we go. So Brewer's Fork right there. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer. There we go. So Brewer's Fork, ciders, cocktails, again, wood-fired pizza. Um, Great pizzas here. So, and listen, you can't go wrong with pizza. And I'm sorry, I may be harping on the pizza spots in Charlestown, but having been to a couple of these spots, they are, yeah, well worth it. So listen, just set up the list. Set up the list for where you want to visit, you know, and check them off as you can. So again, before we got too far down Main Street in the Gaslight District, I want to quickly pop back over to Bunker Hill because I did not get far enough down it last time. So let's go back out to the map and let's go back down to where we were trying to hang out before. And again, you already start to see the Warren Tavern, but so if you haven't heard of the Warren Tavern, we'll head down. So Warren Tavern, one of the oldest bars in America. And as we get to, you see the Gaslight District, you see why it's called the Gaslight District. Really, like really cute down here, really quiet. And again, you have these kind of beautiful tree-lined streets. I think I just blew by the Warren Tavern. I know I did. So Tangerino, good spot. Sullivan's Public House, also a good spot. So let's go back. There we go. There it is. So yes, one of America's oldest bars. Yes, George Washington actually did eat here. So they say. And again, as we kind of twirl around, not just the brick, but the old field stone and cobblestone there. It's very easy to feel the history of Charlestown and Boston overall. And I just want to keep on going down because great restaurant here down on the left side. So just want to quickly go down Main Street now, Freedom Trail, a little bit further because one of my favorite restaurants. I just went there the other day other week for my wife's birthday. Here on the left side, keep going. Legal Oyster is great, but that's not what I'm trying to find. It's so good I can't find it right now. There it is. See, it keeps on passing. Okay, I see what's going on. So let's continue a little bit further down Main Street and down the Freedom Trail. I'm going to show you. It's not going to appear as it is right now. I think that's a little bit older map for Google, but this says legal Osteria. No. So, but one of my favorite restaurants is Prima Italian Steakhouse, which is very much right there. So what was now is, and get the steak, get the chicken parm, everything in there is unbelievable. So I was just there again a couple weeks ago for my wife's birthday, little special treat, special night out, fantastic restaurant. So we've gone down Bunker Hill, we've gone down Main Street, seen a little bit of the Gaslight District, very cute area. Also want to take it and show you a little bit of the waterfront. Because that's kind of, I don't want to say the piece de resistance, but I mean, it's tough not to like this area as well. So, and just to give you a sense, a little bit of where Charlestown is compared to Boston. Pretty easy access to Boston, either by road. And see if we can find the Zakin Bridge. There it is. So if you're unfamiliar with one of the famous bridge in Boston, there it is, the Zakin Bridge. That goes 93, runs up and down into downtown Boston. So that little loop around from the Zakin Bridge and that exit will take you right into Charlestown. So if the middle of Charlestown is very much kind of those triple deckers and or double deckers and some single family opportunities. Waterfront provides more, I would say, of condo opportunities. So between, if you're on 8th Street here, you have Paris Landing, you have, which is condos. You also have Flagship, which is right here. So these two big condo buildings pretty much looking right at one another. And of course, you have the Charlestown, this great park right here. Oop. And the Anchor, I think yeah, there we go. Lit. Great beer garden, good spot. So easy, just come down here, enjoy a day in the park, head over there, grab a bite and beverage. So again, you have all this waterfront area. So you have Constellation Wharf condos as well. Pier 6, a little seafood place on the pier there, appropriately named. You have the Charlestown Marina, and also you can get sailing lessons here as well. And so you start to see amenities there: Paris Landing, the pool, Flagship Wharf. And just to get back a little into the history here, you have USS Cass and Young, which is an old World War II ship from the Pacific battles, as you saw. That you can do a self-guided tour. You have Old Ironsides over here, which is USS Constitution. Let's see if we can get a little 3D view. Yeah, it's not really doing it justice, but it's going to an old tall ship that's parked in Boston Harbor, so you can check that out. Let's see if it'll give us the little website here, a little description. There we go. So I've been on the USS Constitution a couple times. It's pretty cool to check out. Yeah, that does a little better justice of what it looks like. Yeah, very cool. So whether you're in Boston permanently or just visiting, I would definitely make that a stop on your tour at some point. Let's get back to our. So yeah, whether you're while we're on the subject of history, the Bunker Hill Monument, really the keystone, I would say, of Charlestown. I mean, you can't miss it. Of course, commemorating the Battle of Bunker Hill during the American Revolutionary War. It's our own little mini Washington Monument, if you will. So yeah, so whether you kind of opt for the triple decker, double decker, single family opportunities here in kind of the heart of Charlestown, or whether you're looking for kind of waterfront condos or that type of living down here by the harbor, I mean, you have options when it comes to the housing market. Now let's talk a little bit about the housing market as we wrap up this tour here. So if we're looking at the MLS, now I was doing some specific looking here at Flagship, but if we're just looking at the condo market right now, so you can see 113 condos. And some of those are converted from those double deckers, those triple deckers we were talking about. Some of them are down here in the waterfront, a Flagship, Flagship Wharf, Paris Landing, and otherwise, and again, some of them are very much in the heart of Charlestown, if you will. Now, if we're looking at what the prices have been like so far, and we're just looking at basically just the last 6 months and where they've been, again, all over Charlestown. But nearly 100 condos sold in the last 6 months. And you have the affordable, if not very big, but as low as $350,000. And a fair amount of condos available kind of in that six-figure range. And Charlestown definitely has those condos that will stretch in the seven figures as we get into it. And a lot of development, a lot of newly renovated and reconstructed condos. And you can see we stretch into the $1 million range. And I'm pretty sure you're going to see some that, yeah, get into the 2 millions as well. I mean, you're talking with their three, 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, over 3,000 square feet. So, these, plenty of $1 million plus opportunities out there. In terms of the sale price, just over $1 million. But again, 95 condos. And would you have to say about half of them are in the six figures, and a fair amount, 600, $500,000 and below. You're not going to see that in some of in some neighborhoods in Boston. And they've been going pretty quick. Average days to offer, just under a month. Average days on market, just over a month. So, when the Charlestown properties come up, they do go. Now we're looking at, actually, sorry, let's try that again. And we're looking at what's on the market right now. Again, just 18 condos here currently, not a whole lot. And we look at the list price. Again, some affordability there for sure. And some high-end condos there as well. And these ones have been lasting a little bit longer. You can see average list price a little bit less. So again, some of those sold condos that we just looked at pushing the average price up, but these ones have been lingering a little bit, available right now perhaps, and a little bit lower average price point. Let's check out the single families. So 7 single families available in Charlestown right now, and these are all going to be pretty pricey. I mean, again, you're not talking triple deckers and double deckers that are converted to 3 or 2 condos or apartments. These are the full buildings, and they start here and they go all the way up to here. Again, 5-bedroom, 4 bathrooms, 3 half bathrooms, over 5,000 square feet. Take a closer look. Yeah, it's got 2 garage spots. So yeah, really love it. Really well done there. So yeah, single families are going to be pricier. Available on the market right now. We can check out to see what they've been like here recently. But again, just fewer opportunities when it comes to compared to condominiums. And you see that in a lot of urban or downtown or Boston neighborhoods. Just the condominium and apartment opportunities are just going to be more numerous. And what's sold. So I mean, what's sold? Sorry, sale. It's sold as of late. A couple that have been below that $1 million mark, but again, also stretching well into $2 and near $3 million. I was just kind of looking where these are. So all over Charlestown. So yeah. So give you a little sense of the housing market, the pricing, and where you can find certain types of housing, whether you're looking for a waterfront condo, single family opportunities, or otherwise. Talking a little bit about the transportation here. So as you get to Bunker Hill Community College, that's going to be a T station that takes you kind of to and from. So you have the orange line that will get you downtown and back up north. You can also catch the ferry over here, and that'll get you downtown or the seaport. And of course, the bus lines that go all up and down Bunker Hill, Main Street, Medford Street. So, I mean, between the T, the ferry, your own car, or the bus system, and you and or MBTA have got you covered in terms of getting in and out of Charlestown. And again, it's very accessible just in general, either by public transportation or your own commuting, your own pedestrianism, if you will. So one last tour here, or I guess aerial view of Charlestown. I mean, this is one of the oldest neighborhoods, most historic neighborhoods, not only in Boston, but America as well. Again, you can feel the history as you walk through. And maybe you guys know Charlestown from the movie The Town. I know some of that more colorful history as well. But this is just a great neighborhood that has so much to offer anyone who's looking to move to the Boston area. So if Charlestown is on your radar and you want help finding that perfect home, maybe it's not in Charlestown, maybe it's somewhere else in or around Boston. Either way, I'd love to help. You can DM me on Instagram at Mike O'Brien Homes. You can email me directly at mikeobrienhomes@gmail.com. If you like this video, make sure you like it, subscribe, hit that bell, and so you never miss any of the weekly content we put out. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I will be sure to get back to you. And of course, make sure you don't miss our Moving to Boston playlist so you never miss any of the neighborhood tours that we put out pretty often here. So that was your full map tour of Charlestown. Thanks for tagging along, and we'll see you next week in the next video.